Incremental SPF or iSPF. In this video, I'm going to talk about one of the ISIS optimization features. We call it iSPF or incremental SPF. Before talking about this feature, let me to review the function of the ISIS. You know that in ISIS, we are using the topology. After creating the topology, we can run the SPF over that topology, and after that we can find the best path to the networks inside that topology. You learn about the function of the ISIS and you know that how ISIS is working. But what is the iSPF? iSPF is a feature that we can use it in both ISIS and also OSPF, and we can use this feature for better usage or for example more efficient use of ISIS and also OSPF. Let me to give you one example to better understanding the function of the iSPF. As you know, here we have R1, R2 and R3 connected to each other with serial interfaces. Assume that we have one loopback interface between one serial interface between the router 1 and router 2. This is the other serial interface between the router 1 and router 2. Now, when this link failed, okay, we have only one serial links. Before the failing of this link, we had two links. Now we have one link. Okay. The question is that is R1 should calculate the SPF? Yes, but for which area? For which, for example, side of the topology? Only for this side. You know that here we don't have any change. Because of that, we don't need to calculate the SPF process for other parts of the area. Okay, in ISIS and also OSPF, when we have a change inside the area, we need to calculate the SPF for over the all of the topology of that area. Also in ISIS we should do it, but we can calculate only the SPF for this part of, for example, scenario, because here we have only the change, and in other side of the area we don't have any change, and it doesn't need to calculate the SPF for other side of area. We can use the feature of iSPF or incremental SPF to calculating the SPF only for the part of the network that the change is occurred in that part. This is one of the optimization feature of the iSPF. Let me to talk about more about this feature, and after that we will learn better the function of the iSPF. This feature is available in the ISIS and also OSPF. Intermediate system to intermediate system or ISIS and also open shortest path first and OSPF, both of them use Digestra's SPF algorithm to compute the shortest path tree or SPT. You know it. During the computation of the SPT, the shortest path to each node is discovered, and the topology tree is used to populate the routing table with routes to IP network. You know it. Okay. After that, when changing to a link inside one area occurs, the entire SPT is recomputed. In many cases, such as the examples that I mentioned before, the entire SPT need not be recomputed because most of the tree remains unchanged. Incremental SPF or iSPF allows the system to recompute only the affected part of the tree, for example this part, okay, and recomputing only a portion of the tree rather than the entire tree result in faster OSPF convergence and also ISIS convergence and save CPU resources. Note that if the change occurs in the calculating router itself, okay, then a full SPT is performed. This means that when we have a change, for example, in the link between R1 and R2, okay, R1 and R2 needs to calculate the SPF, the full SPF, but other routers can calculate only the incremental SPF, the change only in the, for example, this part of the topology. Incremental SPF computes only the steps needed to apply